Now you want to talk about your issues with resellers.
Well, it's not just my issues. I think we all have issues
Yeah.
with resellers.
Issues with resellers. Issues apparently that we all have with resellers. Go and talk about it.
Okay,
This
resellers.
subject near to.
Yeah,
a lot
that
of us.
hits home to a lot of people. Now,
Yeah.
resellers are, in short, they're the guys that are holding your childhood ransom for large amounts of money. Mm-hmm. Now, for those who don't know what resellers are, now, like, there are good resellers and there are bad ones. There are ones that try to work with you and they're trying to make a small business. However, there are a huge amount of bad resellers that are just trying to take advantage of a market and trying to make you a sucker because they know you want it and they're creating that supply and demand because they're the only ones that might get it. Now here's how it goes. A reseller generally doesn't have a store. There are these guys that have like their own little makeshift like stores in their own house while they have like storage closets and that are just full of these games that they constantly keep buying. And they're selling for high prices over at possibly swap meets or online. Now, how do they get their stock? Well, there's a lot of different ways. They can either buy it immediately as soon as they find it, and then they'll try to flip it. And it's like there's a lot of ways to go about it. But I'm kind of blanking right now.
Well, I know there was an issue earlier with a bot. An eBay bot, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently a seller who was putting up some games for sale on eBay, all of their stock was getting bought within the same minute, which is not physically possible for any human being. Mm-hmm. So, yes, a certain reseller or something is they want to buy all these games to sell back to you at a higher price because they know you want it.
Right.
Now, if you want to do that, get a store. Even at a store, it's a bullshit deal.
Well, it seems like also another thing they do is that they go to these stores, mom and pop stores, or these swap meets, and just buy them all up real early in the day before anyone has a chance to really.
Yeah, so it's like before the swap meet is even open to the public. While they're setting up their shop, they'll be scavenging around other people as they're setting up their shops and buying all of the good stuff before guys like you and me or guys like you out there in the audience even have a chance of seeing anything good so that they can sell it at their place for even more money. And I personally saw this happen about a few weeks ago when we saw a Legend of Zelda DX for the Game Boy Color. And the guy was selling it for $10. I didn't feel the need to get it, but I thought it was cool just to see it there.
Yeah.
And then we went back like 15 minutes later, saw that it was gone. And he said that the seller said that somebody else bought it. We go to a different
seller.
Yeah, a seller who's pretty like a casual for that specific place, and he had the exact same car, and he was selling it for like $5 to $10 more. I'm like, oh, that is so ridiculously shady. like, how about if I was gonna buy it, how about I buy it for the same price you just bought it from that guy?
Yeah,
asshole. And that's pretty much what they do. They scavenge and they try to get the best deals. And yeah, what the point of the eBay bot was somehow it would, before it was made public to guys who can even use the search engine, it would immediately buy it as soon as it got up. By apparently, if you put in certain keyword terms or a certain price point, it would just automatically buy it, and they've got it, and now they can sell it at their place for even more. And it's become a hustle.
Yes, it's become one big hustle. It's about, for these people, like I said, that's kind of become their business now. And
yeah, it's a terrible business too.
You said there's no worse time to be in love with retro gaming and trying to buy the games from your childhood than right now.
Yeah, there isn't.
Because everyone knows how much the demand is nowadays.
Yeah, and when I was talking with Nintendo on the phone, they actually encouraged me, like, if you don't get them now, then you're going to be screwed because 10 to 20 years from now, they're going to be impossible because it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a really, really crap thing to do for these guys to be just going out and buying up all of the stock so you have no choice but to buy it from them at their demanded price, and nobody wins from this. Yeah,
I think the resellers win because they're getting $50-$60 a pop.
It's not good for anybody outside.
Super Metroid is $80. Like
ridiculous. Like games that aren't worth much are now being sold at ridiculous prices that nobody wants to pay.
That's why people are now going to reproduction cards.
Reproduction cartridges or emulation, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No. No.
Like, if you want to get a reproduction card, go for it. A lot of people actually encourage it. Like, get it. It's the cheaper option, and it looks and plays just like the original. There's really nothing wrong with doing it.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of issues going on with everybody in resellers. I don't want to say they're terrible people, but what they do is terrible. Like, it's a really shady business that, well, whatever.
Just the way it is.
Yeah, hustle.
Loyalty. Respect.